This is Spotlight on Cullman, presented by my team, the Warhurst Team Realtors at Hagamore Realty Group, and powered by Cullman Community Radio, Cullman's Live 95. I'm Tommy Warhurst. In the spotlight today is Melissa Betts of the Link here in Cullman County. Melissa, thanks for stepping in the spotlight.
Thank you for having me, Tommy.
Folks have heard about the Link here in Cullman for about 10 years, but for those who don't know, tell folks what the Link is and what you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this opportunity. The Link of Cullman County exists to provide supportive and empowering relationships to our neighbors on the journey towards wholeness. We want them to find wholeness in their personal lives and in their relationships. And we also want to be an example of Christ.
Mm-hmm. So tell, for folks who may not know, who is customer or client may not be the right word, but who is the person that the Link reaches to help?
The person that visits the Link, we call them neighbors, because that's what they are, our neighbors, living in our communities. And they might be anyone who's just looking for resources to be a better parent, or they may be looking for resources for living, like needing housing assistance. We see anything and everything in between as far as resource-wise that fit within our service areas.
Mm-hmm. And earlier we were talking about how you have taken your services into 4 different categories. Talk about those 4 categories.
Absolutely. So neighbor services, that's where we meet most of our neighbors. They have a tangible need, and that might look like food insecurity, and they need food assistance, housing, shelter assistance, finding affordable housing, or assistance in the search for resources for their home. We also do a lot of referrals to our partner agencies in that neighbor services. That's the first and primary way that we meet our neighbors. The second way we meet our neighbors are through educational services that we offer in our school systems. Wise Up Financial Literacy is one of those programs that we offer in our county high schools, 9th and 12th grade. Teach them a little bit about how to handle their money, so that when they graduate from high school, they've got some money skills set there. And then we also offer volunteers in public schools, some literacy programming. That includes after-school tutoring, as well as ESL, English as a second language, even for adults. And so that's our second service area. Renewal is a really big thing, some self-help tools, anything from re-entry, when you're coming out of prison, some re-entry opportunities to learn about how to come back into the neighborhood and live well with your neighbors. We also offer anger management and boundaries as part of that renewal services. And then our 4th service area is our family service area. This is probably our largest service area next to those neighbor services. And we want to offer parenting resources in that family services.
So who would be someone that would reach out to you? And is it services that people have to qualify for, or could anyone who needs your services come in and try to get help?
Yes and no to that question. There are some services that you do have to qualify that are income qualifications, but other services are just if you want to join a class or come to a recovery program, those are open to anyone. Okay. So it would just depend on what you were seeking.
And 2 other things that I know about that our viewers or listeners may not know about. One is the food pantry in the hours of that, and 2 is you do a community meal once a month.
Yes. So our food pantry is open twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 9 until 3:30. We also have the opportunity while you're here visiting our food pantry, you can also visit the Crossing Food Pantry. We're located at the same address in the same facility as one another. So people can visit one time a month for the food pantry, and they can come to both food pantries at that point. And then our community meal is hosted on the 4th Thursday of every month. It's provided by a different community partner. It could be anything from a church group to a business. So we usually try to announce that on our social media pages who's sponsoring this month. And then in the month of November, we have a very large Thanksgiving community meal planned. We have multiple churches and groups who are providing specific items for that Thanksgiving meal. And we'll take reservations for up to 600, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's an exciting time for us.
If our viewers or listeners feel like that they need the services of the Link, how is the best way for them to reach out and contact you?
They can call. Our phone number is 256 775 0028, or they can visit the Link. We're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30 and close for lunch at noon.
Right here on the east side of town, right next to the East Side Cemetery here. Melissa, thank you for stepping in the spotlight today.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do for our community.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to be in the spotlight, it's easy. Just send an email to thewarhurstteam@gmail.com. I'm Tommy Warhurst. This has been Spotlight on Cullman, presented by my team, the Warhurst Team Realtors at Hagamore Realty Group, and powered by Cullman Community Radio, Cullman's Live 95.